Capital One markets their Spark business card as a great beginner business card for entrepreneurs, but is that necessarily true? Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. I thank you for being here. So we have talked about Capital One in the past, and a couple weeks ago I did a discussion about why I felt that if you could not apply for one of the major business credit cards, why the Apple Card might actually be a great starting business card for entrepreneurs who are just getting their foot into the business, whether that be eBay, rideshare, or whatever they want to do. However, I did mention that Discover and Capital One did have business credit cards that would also go to people who were just starting out and had lower than usual credit scores, but I kind of hinted that they might not be ideal for people who are starting their businesses. Now, we discussed why I felt that way about the Discover It business card last week. This week, we're going to talk about Capital One. However, before we do that, if you are new here, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and leave a comment not only about this video and your feelings about these particular products, but maybe about future potential topics you would like to be discussed on the Apptrepreneur channel. With that out of the way, I have to give the standard disclaimer that I am an investor in Capital One. I think as a business, they have a great business model, and I think they are going to go far. And I know Capital One has been trying really hard to change their image. They don't want to be the credit company that just gives out the stupid platinum cards to people who basically went bankrupt. They want to be taken as a serious contender, and they have been making steps towards doing that. Now, they still have a long way to go, but I think the potential is there, hence why I bought their stock. But in my opinion, the Capital One Spark card is kind of a reoccurring example of just how Capital One doesn't get it sometimes, and why I sometimes worry if they ever will. Now, there are technically 6 versions of the Capital One Spark business card. We're going to discuss every single one of them, which one is the best, and whether or not I think you should apply for these cards if you are just starting out on your entrepreneur journey and you would like a business card. Now, the first card that we have is the Spark 1.1 Cash Select card, and no, your eyes do not deceive you. They have 3 different versions of this card, none of which have their own unique design. So that's just one way that Capital One is still a little behind the curve. I know the design of the card isn't necessarily that important, but come on, at least have slightly different designs to differentiate your product. At least try to make your premium product look fancier than your non-premium product. But anyway, so the Spark 1.5 Cash Select is pretty much what it sounds. It is a business card that will give you 1.5% cash back on every purchase with no minimums or expiration date. It is a 0 annual fee, and it has a 0% intro APR for 12 months, which is 15.99% afterwards to 23.99% variable APR after that. Your credit level needs to be good. That's actually one good thing about Capital One I have to give them credit for. They are pretty upfront about what kind of credit they are looking for before you apply for the card. They're not as good as Apple, where they will definitively tell you whether or not you will get the card and the line of credit before pulling a hard pull. However, they do kind of let you know what they're in the range for. And this card already has a little bit of an advantage because there's a 0% APR. When you're just getting started out with your business, you tend to make a few more purchases than you normally would have. We always advocate not overextending yourself and only charging what you can afford to pay off. But sometimes when you're starting a business, extra expenses need to take place. It's just unavoidable. It's part of life. And so having a 0% APR is great. Now, the 1.5% cash back is not great. In fact, the Apple Card gives you 2% if you pay with Apple Pay. But if you don't have an Apple device, then maybe this is where that would be a little bit better. Now, they also have the Spark 1.5% Cash Select. Now, this is unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with no minimum or expiration date. There's also a 0% annual fee. Now, the APR is actually a little better this time. It's 13.24% to 19.24%, and they are looking for an excellent credit level. And this one has a $500 cash bonus when you spend $4,500 in the first 3 months. So that is great. However, one of the things you'll notice that is missing there is the 0% APR. And as that kind of applies, you are not going to be getting 0%. You're going to have to pay this card in full. Now, again, the interest rates are a little lower, so that should make a little bit of a difference. But if you know you are going to be making purchases that you might not be able to pay off right away, even though they have this cashback bonus, it might not be a great card. But the big one, and the one that they clearly want you to get, is the Spark 2% Cash Plus, which has no present spending limit. Now, that does not mean you do not have a limit. You do have a limit. It's just they kind of look at what your spending is, your ability to pay, and then they kind of base your limit on that. So the rewards are unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase with no minimum or expiration date, an annual fee of $150 a year, but there's no APR if you pay off your balance in full every month to avoid a 2.99% late fee, and it's an excellent. So this also, it should be pointed out, might not necessarily be a credit card per se. This is more of a model of a charge card. And charge cards are what American Express does for like their gold and their platinum, where they expect you to pay the balance in full or you suffer a penalty. And charge cards, if you are not paying it off to their satisfaction, they can shut that card down. So you want to be very, very aware of that. But that's not all. There's actually 3 other cards in the Spark family, and we're going to go over them very briefly, but most people don't get into this because this is not necessarily something they want if they are starting out their business. And that is the Spark Miles cards. You have the Spark 1.5 Miles Select, where the rewards are unlimited 1.5 miles on every purchase with no minimums or expiration date. There's no annual fee, and you have 0% annual fee for the first 9 months. Other than that, it's $13.99 to $23.99 variable APR after that. They do want excellent credit, and you do earn 20,000 bonus miles once you spent $3,000 in the first 3 months, and you can transfer miles to 15 plus travel partners. Now, we are going to be talking more about Capital One's travel program because they are getting very aggressive about competing with American Express and Chase in the travel rewards category. And if you would rather have your rewards in flight, then this might not be a terrible card actually, because it is 0 APR for 9 months. That should give you plenty of time to pay for any additional business expenditures, and they have like a nice little fee, and then you can have like a little vacation afterward. It won't be like a big vacation, it'll be like a local vacation, but you can have a vacation. And if you're feeling a little bit more confident about being able to pay things off, you might want to consider the Spark 2X Miles, and that is unlimited 2 miles on every purchase with no minimums or expiration dates. There's 0% intro annual fee for the first year. After that, it's $95, and the interest rate is about 20.99% variable APR. And you will earn 50,000 bonus miles once you spend $4,500 in the first 3 months. So the one thing about this that they don't mention 0 APR for the first 9 months. So I'm assuming that, you know, you cannot carry a balance on this one as well. You have to pay it all off. And then the Lone Spark card, the one that looks the most lonely, in some ways the fanciest, in some ways the most bland, the Spark 1% Classic. Now, what's interesting is, like, you might notice under all these cards, they kind of emphasize the rewards and whether or not there's an annual fee. This one's listed as credit building. So in some ways, this might be the card that a person new to their entrepreneurial line of business would probably look more towards. And the rewards are pretty basic: 1% cash back on every purchase with no minimum or expiration date, 0% annual fee, and a 26.99% APR. It's the credit level they're looking for is fair. It should be noted that the Apple Card does give 2% cash back and has a lower interest rate. So with neither of these cards can you carry a balance, but you can kind of see where I'm coming from. If you're going to do like a credit builder card, then maybe the Apple Card gives you a little bit more of an advantage. You get more of a cash back reward incentive, and you can see exactly what your interest is going to be if you don't pay off that balance by a certain date. It just makes a lot more sense in that regard. Now, these cards are actually, some of them are pretty good, some of them are a little bad. I think it's interesting that they actually make you choose between whether or not you want the cashback bonus or whether or not you want the 0% APR. Other business credit cards that I have looked at will give you a variety of rewards with whatever card you get, but the 0 APR for the first year is usually pretty much a given. It's like the incentive to get you to sign up for the card because they know that business people are going to be getting this card, and the business people are probably getting it because they need some liquidity. They need to be able to stock their store, buy some PS5s for their store. They need to get some equipment, and they know they're going to need a bunch of expenses up front, and maybe they don't have the money to pay right away, so they want to charge those items, pay them off over a year, and not have it hurt their personal credit. Capital One is doing something pretty scuzzy in this regard, in my opinion. First of all, they are making you choose between your cashback reward or 0% APR. I think that is totally bogus because it kind of makes you choose between. They should be offering both, in my opinion. But here's the other thing. Like Discover, Capital One will report your spending on your personal FICO score. What's more, Capital One is notorious. It's not just one of the 3 credit bureaus. They report to all 3 of the credit bureaus. So, like, how's that for just totally like non-incentive to get a Capital One card? Not only are you getting this business card, you have to choose whether you want to pay no APR or you want to get a bonus, but that money is being reported on your personal report in all 3. We're talking about Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. That is completely ridiculous, in my opinion. That totally defeats the purpose, because even if you get the card that has no APR and you max out that card, okay, you have like 9 to 12 months to pay off that balance, whatever it is, but that balance is now hurting your personal credit score, which is going to affect your ability to get loans or, you know, maybe a car for your business. It does not make a whole lot of sense. But then, just to add insult to injury, one of these cards will not report to your personal credit report. And that would happen to be the Spark 2% Cash Plus, the charge card, if you will. This particular card, if you signed up for it after the September of 2021, if you signed up before then, guess what? You're screwed. It's still reporting to your personal credit. But if you got this card after that date, then no, this will not report to your personal credit report. But it's also the one card that has an annual fee, $150, which is not terrible. But keep in mind, the Apple card is giving you 2% cash back, and there's no annual fee. This is charging you $150 for 2% cash back. It's not a great reward. It really isn't. And they expect you to pay the balance off every month. And this is a charge card. If you're going to do a charge card, and if you have the credit score for a charge card, you might as well go with an American Express Gold or Platinum. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Now, it should be noticed they've got like a killer bonus if you do spend a lot of money. And that is you can earn up to $1,000 in the first 6 months plus a 200% cash bonus every year you spend $200,000 or more. So if you have a very established business where you are spending close to $250,000 a year, you will get, not only that $1,000, but you will get $2,400 cash back every year, more or less. I guess that's okay. We all like cash back. It's not a huge cash back reward as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's definitely more than 2%, I'll give you that, but it's, I don't know. Like, it seems kind of like adding insult to injury that, not only are they making you choose between the no APR for these cards or the big rewards, the big bonus rewards, I should say, but the only one that won't report to your personal credit report, which is one of the reasons you want a business card so that it doesn't report to your personal credit, is the one that you have to pay for, and the rewards aren't any better than what the Apple card will give you, or really a lot of cashback cards. For example, the USA Bank has a business credit card that gives you 3% cash back, and I don't think that has an annual fee. So, I think these Capital One Spark cards, I think they suck. I think they have potential to be good. If they just did a couple little changes, like if they said, hey, there's 0 APR for all the cards for the first year, that's just standard, and then there's a variety of different rewards, and if they don't report any of the cards to your personal, then these I could easily see being a recommendation. But as it stands right now, I can't really recommend any of them. I can't even recommend that, credit builder one, which in some cases would be ideal. But again, they're reporting to your personal credit. And if you're going to get a personal credit card to help with your business, the Apple One gives you double the cash back and is much easier to manage. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Capital One Spark business card. I clearly don't have a lot of positive things to say about it. If you have established businesses, they might be worth signing up for to get some of the rewards, and then you can cancel them. But you have to know that you're going to be affecting your personal credit while you have these cards, and that's always going to rub me the wrong way a little bit. But anyway, I would like to know what you think of all of this. Do you have a Capital One Spark card? Why do you have it? And by the way, if after all this you still want to get a Capital One, you can use my referral link below and you will get a $100 cashback bonus. But until then, I'd like to know what you all think about this. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.